Wow. Okay. I've seen some films from some terrific directors like Stanley Kubrick, Alfred Hitchcock, Roman Polanski, Steven Spielberg. I've seen a lot of movies. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. The Dark Knight Rises, the final movie in the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. I have been waiting to see this for 4 years. Ever since I saw The Dark Knight with my dad, I wanted to see this. Um, I bought tickets for this movie like 4 months ago. I waited in line for 3 hours, and I finally saw it. It's like 4:30 a.m. right now. I just got back. Um, I have a lot to talk about. I don't think I'm gonna tell you anything about the movie itself because I know that would be cheating yourself from a terrific cinematic experience. I will tell you that The Dark Knight Rises takes place 8 years after The Dark Knight. And, um, when I saw The Dark Knight, it had a really cool feel to it. When I first saw this movie, or when I started to watch it, it had a really different feel to it. I really think Christopher Nolan and everybody involved was really trying to make this movie better than The Dark Knight because Christopher Nolan himself said if the script didn't match or was better than The Dark Knight, he wouldn't make this movie. It's amazing, guys. It's the ending of the movie. I had a few guesses. My worst one was that Batman died. I don't want to tell you if Batman died or not, but that was my worst one. Um, Usually I hate it when they kill off main or supporting characters like Spider-Man 3 or who they killed off. But the only good thing is in the Scream movies they never killed off anyone special in the Scream movies. But like I had some pretty good ending trilogy guesses there. But Christopher Nolan pretty much matched himself. After having seen this though, my favorite still probably is The Dark Knight. I mean, while there were moments in this movie that blew Dark Knight out of the water, but then there are points where The Dark Knight is better than this movie. Oh man. Um I saw it with my dad and my grandpa. And my grandpa is like 77 years old. And we actually, hold on. We actually watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight with my grandpa, me and my dad. He loved them, and we went and saw this with my grandpa. This was like the first time we'd been to see a movie in like, 40 years. He loved it. It was the best cinematic experience I have ever had. The only thing that would top that would be either seeing The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, or Eyes Wide Shut in the theater. That would top The Dark Knight Rises by far. But, this movie is good. It is really good. The only thing that I didn't like about this movie really was Bane. Bane has never been my favorite Batman villain. Bane has never been in any major, well, okay, excluding Batman and Robin, the notoriously bad Joel Schumacher Batman. I've never seen him in the 60s TV show. I've never seen him in the animated TV show. In fact, I've never heard of Bane until I saw Batman and Robin. What's good about these movies, though, is that Christopher Nolan portrays the characters in a very realistic way. Like, excluding this movie, The Dark Knight probably could have actually happened. This movie, I mean, there's like flying Batmobiles and some very unrealistic stuff that happened, but it's done so well, it looks real. But the Bane in Batman and Robin was like a big, tall, buffed, idiotic slave to Poison Ivy. In this movie, yeah, he is buffed, but he's insanely smart, and he's a crazy terrorist. Everybody returns from the previous two Batmans. We have Christian Bale as Batman, Michael Caine as Alfred. We have Morgan Freeman coming back as Lucius Fox. And then there's the three new, I guess, important people. There's Joseph Gordon-Levitt as, this very fantastically new character. We have Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. And then the girl that played Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Inception. And a surprise cameo appearance in this movie that I did already know about, but it was cool to see it. But The Dark Knight, the ending of this movie, I was satisfied. There are a lot of trilogies out there have had some pretty shitty endings to them, but this one was satisfying. I'm glad that they didn't do anything really drastic with this. I'm glad that they kept it, relatively simple. But this movie just blew me out of the water. I mean, it's like past 4:30. I'm dead tired. You just have to see this to believe it. It is the best Christopher Nolan movie to date. And I can't wait to see what Christopher Nolan does after this. I hope he does something cool. But then again, I mean, he may be like other directors where it's still another 2 or 3 years before we ever even see another Christopher Nolan film. But, this will be the biggest blockbuster ever. I guarantee it. People have been waiting to see this for 4 years. The Dark Knight blew records. This movie is going to blow records. It's just fantastic. Cannot recommend it more. If you love the previous two Batmans, you love Christopher Nolan, you'll love this movie with all your heart and soul. It was just amazing. I cannot recommend this more. I mean, I could ramble on and on for hours about my favorite parts and stuff that I don't get, but I'm gonna kind of wait a few days and I'll read stuff on the internet. I didn't go into this movie with a lot. Usually when I go to see a movie at the theater, I research it. But, I mean, I had seen trailers and pictures. I never watched any of the promo stuff. But I had seen a few trailers, and that was all I had seen. And I was very anxious to see this. But this is my video on The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, again, it's a terrific movie. I really cannot say that more. I mean, it is... watching this, it made me think of Stanley Kubrick. What could have Stanley Kubrick done in the year 2012? That would have been fucking amazing. Wow. Yeah. This is the best movie I think I've seen this year, or in the past few years. That's recently come out. Amazing movie. Cannot recommend it more. Go check out The Dark Knight Rises. You will not regret it.